Was. All right, moving right along, Mark, to the co-main event of this UFC Fight Night, once again at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. In the welterweight division, Della Maddalena gets it done on the scorecards by split decision over Bassil Hafez. The scorecards read 29-28, two of them in favor of Della Maddalena, and Hafez earning his own 29-28. So first of all, who did you have winning this fight? Live, my heart was racing for JDM, wanting him to get this done and continue to march up the welterweight rankings here. So what would you take?
What a friggin' crazy fight this ended up being, man. We're all thinking JDM is getting a walk and he's going to show off again, late notice replacement. And we get one of the best fights on the whole card. I mean, but what is it? Bassil? Is that how he was saying his first name? I'm forgetting now if they were saying so. Bassil or Bassil. But Hafez, I'll say, absolutely showed up and gave everything he had to get this win, and he almost friggin' did it. But he did not.
He did.
And to me, it's not really debatable. I don't think he won this fight. I saw a million people online, fighters included, tweeting about Hafez getting robbed and he won and blah, blah, blah. He did not win. He won round one, that's for sure. But from that point on, he kind of got his ass beat. Like, yes, he was standing his ground and throwing back, and that was admirable, and that was a big part of the reason he was able to stay in this fight and continue to find takedown entries, because he was not being backed away or scared away by what Jack was throwing at him. He was willing to bite down and stand his ground and throw back, and that was that countering was allowing him to get inside for his entries on his takedowns. So props to him for that. And yes, he did accrue some more time, specifically in round two, where he was on top. But you don't get much for taking a guy down and laying on him, especially not when he just fed you a casual 20-piece before you took him down, where about 10 of those 20 were snapping your head back. And then, yeah, you took him down, you were on top of him for 2 minutes, but nothing happened in those 2 minutes. So, you know, I can't see scoring that round any other way. All the damage went to Jack. And obviously no one's debating round three. It's round two that's up in the air. So to me, it was clearly a Jack round. But then to top off the fact that Jack won round two, he may have even won round three 10-8, because that round was an absolute beating where he was teeing off on Hafez. So, you know, he fought admirably. He almost pulled off something crazy, but he didn't. And that's okay. It was short notice. He was fighting a great fighter in Jack. He'll be back. He'll have another chance. And it doesn't have to be anything more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be that he got robbed. You know, Jack, yes, he showed some holes with his takedown defense early. He did seem to shore those holes up as the fight went on. He did show off his hands, as he always does, and he earned the win. So we'll see if this ends up just being a little blip in Jack's story, or if other wrestlers are going to have more success than we realized against him. But on this night, he did enough to get the W. And for what it's worth, sorry to cut you off. I had one other thing I wanted to say. Of the experts on MMA decisions, I'm going to do a little math right quick. 17 out of 19 scored it for Jack. So that is really? That.
Wow.
Yes, and of the public, only 15% scored it for Hafez. 85% scored it for Jack.
Really? Wow. That's actually a little surprising to me, just because I thought that with the 10-point must system and those first two rounds, Jack continued to try to be a well-rounded MMA fighter, so I got to give him the props. But it seemed like time after time, when Hafez was going for a takedown, Jack would pull a guillotine. And it's like, all right, well, at some point, if this submission attempt is not happening, this could be losing in the judge's eyes, because it just winds up with him being on his butt or on his back.
Oh, for sure.
With Hafez
on top him round one
for a certain length of time. Yeah. And I thought it kind of kept happening a little too much for comfort in round two. Now, if this was pride scoring, I think this goes without being said. If this was pride scoring or whole fight scoring, there can be no doubt whatsoever that Jack Della Maddalena kind of fucked him up throughout that fight. especially in that third round, like you said. The third round could have been 10-8. And I don't think any judge gave him a 10-8 for that round.
I just closed it, but I can go back and see. Hold on. Nope, none did.
But dude, even in that third round, when he could have finished him, but then like one last time, I think with a couple minutes left, Hafez tried to go for that takedown, I think, and I think Jack like one last time like tried to go to the back or something like that. Like everyone in the stadium and everyone who was watching was all groaning like, no, just like let him stand up. You're going to finish him in like 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I think he wound up on his back one more time. So
yeah.
I was very happy though that Jack got out of there. I think you're right, and I've always been one who's like takedowns with nothing after it. I think should count for shit. But man, Hafez, he showed out, dude.
Yeah,
for the weight class, stout, strong guy, fucking great chin. Oh my god. And he went toe to toe with one of the best rising prospects at welterweight right now. With that being said, let's talk about that prospect being Jack Della Maddalena and where he should go from here, in your opinion. If you were the matchmaker of the UFC, who are you giving Jack to next?
I kind of think I'm just going right back to Sean Brady. I mean, it was an interesting booking. Most of the other welterweights are booked up. You know, I guess some of these are going to happen pretty soon, so you could see who wins and loses these fights. But to me, I think it's very easy to just go right back to that Sean Brady fight, and Jack asked for the same thing.
Yeah, and I mean, given Sean Brady, that would be a lot of the same of this fight. Sean Brady, primarily a wrestler. So Jack's going to be fighting somebody who's going to be trying to take him down pretty much the whole fight.
Yeah, a little more of a grappler than wrestler, I would say. But yes, point.
Sure.
Point of trying to bring it to the mat remains.
You want to say anything about Mr. Hafez?
Yeah, I debated if we should give him a lower level guy for him to try to show out and get a win as a reward for this. But part of me is like, man, he looks so good. I don't want to just give him someone who's like 0-2 in the UFC, you know? So I was kind of looking through. And how about someone like a Wellington Turman? I think could be an interesting clash just to gauge where Hafez is truly at.
Sure. Jack lives to fight another day.